Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble your SCROG growing system. SCROG is a portable and adjustable screen of green or SCROG growing system. Unlike DIY SCROGs, SCROG assembles in minutes with no tools required. So we'll start by assembling the primary system, and then I'll show you how to easily add a second screen to upgrade to SCROG Pro. So let's get started. Before you begin, clear a working area to assemble your SCROG and have your plant container and medium nearby. Remove the system base from the box and place it upside down on a hard but protected flat surface. Unpack the system's 4 casters and fully seat the shaft of each caster into the 4 corresponding caster holes on the bottom of the base. Then return the assembled system caddy topside up, sitting on its caster wheels. Measure the bottom of your plant container and divide the number by 2. Measure out that number from the center crosshairs along the reference line and put a light pencil mark in the floor of the channel. Measure and mark all 4 channels of the base legs in the same manner. If you're using a hard bottom container, place a grip pad directly over each of the marks in the locking channel so that the marks are centered under the grip pad. We recommend that you leave the paper backing on the back of the grip pad and avoid use of the adhesive back, which will make positioning and reuse in future grows easier. At this time, if you're setting up the DWC bucket, remove the handle. Place your container on the base with its bottom perimeter edges centered over the 4 grip pads. Fill the container with the growing medium, which will add weight and prevent the container from moving on the base. Velcro or zip ties will secure the vertical telescoping rods to virtually all containers. If you're using a DWC bucket, be sure that the surfaces that receive Velcro are clean and dry. Remove the paper backing from one of the 4 Velcro adhesive backed pieces. Apply the adhesive side of the Velcro to a flat surface at the most outer perimeter of the container, centering it directly above each base leg. Slide the top of each of the 4 telescoping rods through the slitted Velcro pieces with the SCROG brand facing you. Each telescoping rod has rubber feet that are pressure fit into each of the 4 locking channels of the system base. The rods are firmly supported by the rubber feet in the locking channels and the Velcro attached to the rim. For fabric pots or smart pots, while making sure that the pot remains centered on the base, fully seat the rubber foot of one of the telescoping rods in a leg locking channel of the base closest to the bottom edge of the pot. While holding the rod vertical, put a hole in the fabric with a knife on each side of the rod towards the top of the pot, an inch or 2 below the top of the growing medium. Do the same thing near the bottom of the pot, just above the rubber foot of the telescoping rod. Take 2 zip ties and slip them through the holes made at the top and bottom of the pot. Now secure the telescoping rod at the top and bottom by wrapping the zip ties around the rods and zipping tightly. Secure the remaining rods to the pot in the same manner. For air pots, while making sure that the pot remains centered on the base, place the rubber foot of one of the telescoping rods in a locking channel of the base closest to the bottom edge of the pot. The rod is secured with zip ties that lace through the holes in the air pot at the bottom and top rows of holes just below the reservoir level. Be sure that the rod is vertical before zip locking the tie. Do the same for the remaining rods. Now that the rods are secured, you can top off the container's medium to the desired level. Your container is now prepared to receive screens. To add the primary training screen, unpack the 4 white junction caps. If you're assembling the SCROG Pro, unpack and install 1 threaded brass insert into each of the large holes of the junction caps using firm hand pressure. The brass insert collar will be flush with the top of the cap when installed properly. For both the primary and Pro systems, slide the junction caps through the primary training screen keyholes with the cap's large diameter holes facing up. Slide the junction cap in the corresponding support slot of the screen, pushing the cap temporarily toward the center of the screen. Hold the primary training screen parallel to the floor over the extended rods. Insert the top end of each telescoping rod into the bottom hole of each corresponding cap. And now you're done with your SCROG primary system. For the SCROG Pro system, hold a threaded nylon rod vertical in one hand while positioning a threaded nylon wing nut upside down and thread it onto the rod to its desired position. Repeat this step for all 4 rods. Thread the bottom of each nylon rod into each brass insert. We recommend only using 2 to 3 threads to secure the rod in the brass insert. When you're ready for the Pro support screen, hold it parallel to the floor and lower it so that the 4 threaded nylon rods slide through the screen's corresponding slots and rest on the flat surfaces of the 4 wing nuts. Finally, take the remaining 4 wing nuts and thread them down the nylon rods flat side down until they lightly tighten on the top surface of the screen. So now you're done with your portable and adjustable SCROG growing system. Thanks for joining me, and feel free to visit scrogger.com for more information.